Hi, everybody. It's Diane Needle living in Barrie. Today, I want to talk a little bit about selling your house before you buy, or should you wait to buy until after you sell? A lot of people ask me those kind of questions, and I personally believe it's better to sell your house first and know exactly how much money you have. I mean, you don't necessarily know, even though you want a certain amount, you don't know if you're going to get that. A lot of people like to buy first and make it conditional on selling their house. Now, depending on the real estate market, like right now, we call that an SPP. And right now, people are accepting those. If it's really a hot market, nobody will take that condition. In a slower time like now, people will. So what you do is you put in an offer conditional on selling your house, and normally you do like 30 days to 40 days. And if it's not sold within that 30 or 40 days, you can either get an extension to allow you more time to sell, or it's actually a dead deal. You didn't sell in time, you get your deposit back, and the deal's dead. So if you do that, you have to be very, very realistic on what you price your house at. And in order for someone to accept it, it has to be a house that is saleable. So if somebody gives me a property and says, "Oh, well, we have a property, um, you know, a waterfront that's $2.5 million," those things take forever to sell. Or, we have something at $1.7 million. Well, like, we're not even going to take that SPP. If it's a small townhouse and we're going to price it in the 600s, well, boy, okay, that's a good conditional SPP to take, because the property is more than likely going to sell fast. So the backup property, that's what we call it, has to be priced properly, and an agent will ask that. I'll ask, if somebody puts an SPP on our property, I'll ask, what are you pricing it at? What kind of property it is? Is it how much, what kind of neighborhoods is it in? Are they asking a realistic price? So I had a couple offers this year that had SPPs on them, and I was the listing agent, so I was selling the house. One of them, the 30 days was up and it wasn't sold, and they had done the home inspection, they had done everything. So, and we had no other interest, but we didn't extend it. So I told the agent, well, you should just leave it listed, because, for 2 or 3 weeks, because you could still sell it, because he was getting showings, and then come in firm with us. No conditions at all, because, they did the home inspection, everything else was good. All they needed to do was sell their house. And they actually sold within 2 weeks, and then came back firm and bought ours. So, the deal ended up happening anyway. But they did get less than they wanted, and we had to go down a little bit in price. So that's the other thing. Like, if you're buying based on, okay, I'm going to get 800 and you only get 750, can you still buy? That's why I like to sell first. But if you're looking for a very, very unique property, and it has to have this and it has to have that and it has to be here, and sometimes people will want to find the property first, put in the conditional offer, and then sell their house and then firm up the deal. Now, like I said, the problem is, in a hard, tight market, no one's going to take that SPP. I mean, the market for years, the last 3 or 4 years, haven't no one's really been accepting them. So I had another one where they were bumped. So they had an offer on my client's property based on their selling, and you can still accept another offer if one comes in. that doesn't have the condition of a house for sale. And as long as you like the other terms, maybe it's 5 days financing and inspection, same money, but you're going to have a firm deal within 5 days. Because if this house never ever sells, you don't have a deal at all, right? So they actually came in, gave us an offer, and we accepted that offer. We gave 48-hour notice. So it's usually 24 or 48 hours notice that you have to give the people with the condition, and they can either firm the deal or lose the house. So their house wasn't sold, so they had to release the deal. And we ended up selling the house to the people that bumped them. So we call it bumping. So if someone comes in with a firm offer or just a 5-day conditional, you accept it. The other people can't firm up. You get a mutual release. They get their deposit back. So they got their deposit back. They didn't lose anything because it was still conditional on the sale of their house. And then someone else ended up buying the property, firming the deal in 5 days, and the house is sold. So putting an offer conditional on your house selling is an SPP. Going in and buying a house that has a conditional offer on it is bumping somebody. I know it gets confusing. And you definitely, like, it's been so long since I bumped somebody, I couldn't even remember how to do it. And I called my broker record and he couldn't remember. Because, like, honestly, it offers conditional on the sale of your house hasn't been here for years. Nobody would accept them. Nobody. Unless it was a really, really good property, the backup, and people thought it would go really, really fast. But like normally there, because we've had years and years of a pretty good market, why would you tie your house up with somebody and have to wait 30 days to see if it's sold or not? And especially normally, and this year I saw a big difference. Normally, when your house is conditionally sold, nobody shows it because they think, well, we can't buy it anyway. It's conditionally sold to somebody else, and I'm not even going to show it, and I don't want to see it. You ask your client, they're like, no, I don't even want to see it. So we were still getting quite a few showings, and we were shocked. So there, I mean, there's ways to protect yourself and make sure yours is sold before you buy. And you can do a conditional, and this is a market that you can actually do it because it's working right now. But I'm always more worried about, people always think they're going to get more for their house than they think, and when you have to sell it fast, you have to price it really realistically. Because if you're not, like, you just put everybody through all this. And it's not that I mind doing the work, it's the stress. Okay. Like, you want this house, you love this house, you need this house to buy, you just love it. Your house isn't selling, nobody's showing it. I mean, I was dealing with, crying and stress, and we had like 3 or 4 offers on one of them. And you know what? They were all too low. We couldn't accept them because they had paid so much for the other house. So we couldn't do it. So I like selling better, have a longer closing date, and then you find a house, then you know exactly how much money you have. You're not in this stressful situation. Now, on the other hand, it's stressful when you sell and you don't have a place to go. Also very stressful. You can put a condition when you sell for 7 to 10 days. I've done it, where you find suitable housing. You can put a condition, sometimes 3 to 5 days, 7 to 10 days, that you find, if you're going to sell, that you can find a house, so you know where you're going. Like, buying and selling is a stressful endeavor here, right? Like, it is. I heard one time the top 3 stresses in life are death, divorce, and moving. Like, it's a stressful situation, and as an agent, I understand that. So you kind of, and we're used to doing this every single day. So we can kind of keep everybody calm. Like, as far as every deal, there's issues here and there, and people are freaking out. And I'm like, it's okay. It's all gonna be okay. I do this all the time. It always works out. Trust me. And they'll tell me after when it worked out. You know, Diane, when you said that, we didn't believe you. And they don't. When I'm trying to tell them it's all gonna be okay and it's gonna work out, they feel everything happens for a reason, but they feel like, oh yeah, okay, whatever. And then when it does, they never believed me. But it does work out. Like what's meant to be in this world, it is. It happens. And normally, if one thing doesn't work out, a better one works out later. So you just have to trust the process and believe that what is meant. And you're gonna get that house, and it's gonna be better than what you thought. So I hope this helped. And I don't know, because even as I was saying it, I understood that this is confusing. If you like my stuff, hit the like, subscribe, or drop me a comment if you have any questions.